Good morning and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to be lighting a fire with the Orford parang. If you watched my last video you would have seen me introducing this parang. I picked it up recently second hand and I've been looking for one for a while and I'm very pleased that I've got one. Right, so I'm going to light a fire with this today, this ferro rod. And I thought I'd mix the fire lighting up a little bit because I'm in my local woods, which is extremely damp, and I thought I'd relive a technique, the way I started lighting fires in this woods 35 years ago. It's basically you take either stones or logs, put them in a parallel fashion, build your fire on top of it, and you introduce the flame underneath. It's not the best technique in the world, but what it does give you is a chance to build your fire neatly with stuff that may not be as dry as you'd like it to be, and there's not much chance of knocking things over because you can go underneath. The problem with it is it will fall inwards, but I think for today, with the dampness, and it is damp, I think it's a good idea. I gathered some twigs on the way in, so they're relatively dry, and I managed to find myself a length of dead standing hazel, so I'm going to use that for feather sticks and basically the fine kindling before I light the sticks. I don't know how good it's going to be for making feather sticks because the grind close to the handle is a bit finer than I'm used to, and it's not out of the box sharp. It's been used and it's got a little dink in the edge as well, so I may have to do a quick little sharpening job mid-session. Right then, I've got some various wood for fuel around here, but it is going to be damp, so we'll need splitting up. Unfortunately, you know, this is meant for cutting green wood really and giving nice swings. I'm not building any shelters, I'm not doing anything with green wood, so this is what it's going to be used for today, and I'm looking forward to it. Right, that's the fireplace built, so as you can see I put some sticks underneath, get it off the damp a bit when I put the feather stick in, and then I put a layer of very thin twigs, and then I built it up to like thumb size fuel, and when I light it, in theory it should go up like a rocket. Right then. Unfortunately, the long ones, which I wanted to use for feather sticks, are a bit damp. These seem fine though, so I'm going to do 2 feather sticks with these. Sun's coming out now, dry the place out, nice. Right, well that belly for splitting down was fantastic. Yeah, really good. You can get a good few inches worth into the wood, very nice. So far, I'm liking it. See what it's like for feather sticks. Where the wood isn't ideal, it's got a little bit of rot setting into it. You know, it feels dry. As I thought, that grind is a bit shallower than I'm used to, but we'll get there. Well, after trying a few different methods of feather sticking, I found the best one. Blade against the knee, use the tip. And I wasn't expecting that. I thought the grind next to the handle would be the best for doing it, but no, it's not. Pretty good for making the big old kindling sticks. It's just such a shame that these are damp. They will go up, but they are a little bit on the damp side. There we are, so I'm going to finish that off now with the tip, get a nice big bundle of curls, get it sparked up. I haven't used a ferro rod on it yet, so I don't know how well the spine's going to spark. Knowing Ben, it's probably going to be just fine. Yeah, so I'm going to finish this off and then we light the fire. Everything's ready to go. Got my feather sticks, got my ferro rod out. I'm using Tom's small rod today. Put my tripod up with my pot ready. I don't want to lose any heat from this fire because tea is very important to a man. Yorkshire tea. I get so many people asking me what tea I drink. Yorkshire tea, by far the best. Right then, so fingers crossed these damp feather sticks will light. Spine is not great at all, and I did try it that way before I put the camera on. Yeah, that's not great, bit too rounded. I'll have to use a striker. Yes, it's burning nicely now, but you can see when it lit how much moisture was coming out of it. Yes, the sticks are damp, because it is damp, yeah. Tea. Yes, I shall have a well-deserved cup of tea now, and then I'll attack some larger stuff for the parang. Shame about the spine, but you never know. Perhaps he's differentially heat treated it so the spine is softer than the blade. Wouldn't be surprised. Ben's a bloody expert and he really knows what he's doing, and they do that with parangs anyway. Get the spine softer so it's got more flex, more strength. Could be that. I'll have to ask him. I've had my cup of tea. I've left the fire die down. It was far too warm. Got the sun hitting me. It's gone a bit now, straight through the trees, and that thing was belching out heat. So I let it die down. Yeah, too warm. It's not actually burning very well. I think I need to move them logs now. Get some air into it. There's not a lot of airflow today, very little. Smoke's going straight up most of the time. So that's a good indicator there is no breeze. And I'm feeling quite clammy. Right, so yeah, I'm going to move them out of the way now. Leave the fire do its own thing. I'm going to do a bit of chopping and a bit of splitting with this parang. I've got a 4-foot length of ash. It's a bit damp, but I'm going to chop that up now and split it up. So I've got some fuel for my next cup of tea. Now I know a lot of people don't like my chopping technique. A lot of people think I should turn it round or do it on the ground. That's how I do it. I get through it until I know I can snap it and then use gravity. Nothing wrong with that. I'm impressed. I like this tool. Now the last parang I really used was that Kondo Mini Duku whatever it was called, when I took to Panama. I absolutely hate that thing with a passion. it's a piece of junk. This may cost 4 times as much, but it's not a piece of junk. Yeah, really liking this. Definitely, yeah. Chops well, splits well, and it does feather if you change your technique around a bit. I haven't used it as a draw knife this time. I'll do that next time, do a bit of crafting with it. But for first use, I'm really liking the Ben Orford I-band parang. Right then, let's build this fire back up. I didn't blow into it or anything, I just moved the coals around and I put them on top, and they're slightly damp, so that's not bad at all. It's a fire lighting knowledge, fire management knowledge. Goes a long way in the woods, definitely. I didn't cover the sheath. And let's face it, sheaths are pretty important because they stop you from cutting yourself. There's the sheath. Lovely leather, beautiful. Lois's work is always outstandingly good. This one has been well used, and I know that the previous owner had sewn his own ferro rod loop on there. Carl, if you're watching this, thanks for the knife, Carl. I like it. Yes, it's lovely. My only gripe with it is that massive dangler. Right now my fire is smoking. Hopefully it won't get too bad. That is a massive dangler, and if you know me, you know I like a clip. I like a belt clip. So whatever knife I'm using with a dangler just goes on the belt clip. The clip stays there all the time. There's nothing wrong with it, it's super solid. It's just, I'm only 5'8", so this will hang down past my knee. Great if you're 6'5", but not if you're 5'8". But yeah, she's well made, really nice. Stitching's always on point. She does lovely work. And I know because I've got quite a few Ben Orford knives with lower sheaths. Yeah, so my only gripe is that really. It's a bit big in my opinion, but that's because I'm short. These also come in kydex, which is probably better for a jungle anyway. But I would imagine most people who buy these are in the same sort of environment as me, a temperate woodland. But yeah, if I was going to the jungle, I'd probably make myself a kydex sheath for it, or get Ben to make me one. Yeah, so that's the sheath, the retention, the studs are good quality ones, everything's fine. That's a bit big. Right, knife. I really like this knife. I knew I'd like it because when you played with knives as much as I have, you know what's going to work and what's not going to work. It's very rarely I look at a knife, buy it, and then go, oh, I really don't like this. It does happen, but 95% of the time I look at a knife and I know what's going to work for me. And this is really nice. This particular one has got black micarta handle with orange liners. I like a bit of black and orange. Goes well. Yeah, there's plenty of grip to it. I don't know what process he's used. I would imagine he sandblasted it or bead blasted it. I didn't need to give it a quick sharpen on the stones today. It worked fine. These don't really need to be like razor blades at the end of the day, because you're bashing them through stuff. Yeah, I like it. That's a nice tool. Very pleased with that. On this one is in 80 CHV2 carbon, and at its thickest point it looks about 5mm thick. And I know with Ben, he tapers the grind, so you've got a steeper grind here than here, which is quite odd because I was making better curls with the tip, which is quite a shallow grind, so that's a bit odd. There we are. yeah, I like it. Thanks to Carl for selling it to me. Thanks to Ben for making it. And thank you for a bit of dry weather to do a video. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your views. I certainly appreciate a thumbs up. Until the next time, ta-ra! Oh well. And years ago, I made a really nice parang. I did this design on a Malaysian parang, and I sent the design to Dave Budd, who's another knife maker who is a forger basically, and Dave made me a beautiful blade. I put a Zebrano wood handle on it, I made a beautiful sheath for it. It was lovely. I sold it. What a clown. If anybody's out there who owns that parang, you may not know I made it. I'd love to have that back, and I will make you a knife, really nice knife to swap for it, because I love that parang. Yeah, I like this.